Le sommet international de l'éducation du futur réunit une soixantaine de conférenciers du monde entier. Des pionniers et des innovateurs issus du monde de l'éducation, bien évidemment, mais également des êtres inspirants, issus des chemins de sagesse ou des chemins d'apprentissage et de créativité dans différents domaines. Les arts, les sciences, l'économie, le lien avec la nature, le sport, etc. Des expériences et des chemins de vie qui sont un formidable enrichissement pour le monde de l'éducation. Le professionnalisme des traductions, en simultané, et l'incroyable richesse de toutes ces conférences offrent un horizon de point de vue vaste et varié, très complet, qui en font au final une véritable formation professionnelle pour les enseignants, les éducateurs et tous les professionnels de l'éducation, mais également une formation à la parentalité consciente et une formation individuelle à la vie consciente. Face à toute cette richesse et aux divers retours, nous avons décidé d'offrir toutes ces conférences à tous, partout dans le monde, en français et en anglais, quelquefois en allemand et en espagnol. Découvrez la vision d'acteurs audacieux et influents du changement, vers un monde éthique, solidaire, généreux et profondément respectueux de tous, des cultures, des peuples, des règnes et de la planète. Un incroyable panel de conférences, couvrant toutes les dimensions de l'éducation, pour un futur ayant du sens, une humanité épanouie et une terre qui respire. Une chose est sûre, votre vie, et à travers vous, celle des enfants, ne sera plus la même après avoir écouté toutes ces conférences. Pour avancer, nous avons besoin de vous, nous avons besoin de votre générosité solidaire. L'organisation du sommet et l'édition des conférences ont nécessité des milliers d'heures de travail et nécessitent encore beaucoup de temps et d'investissement. Nous faisons appel aux dons libres et spontanés pour compléter le financement du sommet et, si possible, continuer à l'enrichir de nouvelles conférences. Votre soutien est vraiment précieux et vital pour aller jusqu'au bout de cette aventure extraordinaire. Merci.
Namaste everyone. Far away from Himalaya, Nepal, the highest mountain, Mount Everest, lies in Nepal. Out of 14 highest peaks, we have 10 peaks in Nepal, including the highest. So from that height, I bow to all of you, though maybe not spiritually that high myself. I am a small child, small being amongst these billions and billions beings. But I am happy to participate today with you, participate and share my experience, my life, whatever I had undergone through hardship or whatever. So I am Ramchandra, born in remote Himalayan region on the foothills of Himalayas, with very hard life. You know, I lived in Nepal with my family till I was 12 years old. So these 12 years I mostly spent with animals in the forest and with the trees, birds, and with climate. You know, in our Hindu culture, everything is divine. All life is yoga. All life is life divine. That is the way of our life. That everything that you see, that you perceive, that you feel, everything is divine. The divinity, the joy, the peace, everything. So, 12 years went quite fast. By then I realized that my parents had to work hard to feed me, including my siblings, my brothers, sisters. We were 7 children at that time. And they had to work hard to feed us. So I said, now it's too much to give them trouble. I thought I must go away from the family. I'm the eldest. And I can manage myself, my life, with some friends who were going to India, some grown-ups. And I ran away at the age of 12 without informing the people. And I ended up in India. The life was different. What I thought was not there. Of course, I missed my parents, my friends back at home. Same time, many things were new for me. I never had seen a plain land. So it was something new to see me, all gigantic plain lands, flat lands, and trains, vehicles, buses, so everything. Doctors, I never had visited, never had seen in my childhood a doctor. So everything was new. So I had to discover everything. I went to Nagaland. It's the eastern part of India. And the life was quite hard. I didn't have enough food to eat. Many days I was without food. Sometimes I used to work for the food. But you know, always you do not get good people. Do not get good company of people. Sometimes you get good people, sometimes bad people. So I did not like, again I was on the roads, streets. So alone without food for 4 days, 5 days. Then I used to have lot of hunger. Then I used to go down to a small rivulet, small river, and drink the water and come again on the road and count the vehicles passing through. So few months my life passed like that. And then I one day joined the Indian Army. Quite young, but I joined Indian Army. Those days India needed, Nepalese, the Gurkhas, to fight with China and Pakistan. Those days there were the war days. So they used to recruit even young boys. So first time when I entered the army, I was very happy because there was a lot of food, good food, tasty foods. Human being, when you do not have anything, especially food, then you aspire for food because this is basic. So when you have food, then you want something else. So same thing happened to me. I appreciated army life because there was a lot of tasty food. But after 2 years being in army, my soul wanted something else. I myself asked questions. What am I doing here in army, in military? What I have to do with arms? Of course, I met a guru, I met a master, and he also guided me about life. What is life? What is real life? Why we were born on this earth? What is the purpose of our birth? So, one day I decided to leave army. I left army after 2.5 years and I became a monk or sadhu. And I started extensively roaming throughout the India, doing pilgrimages to many spiritual and religious places of India. North to south, south to north, east to west, west to east. And same time, I started learning Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the divine language, we consider it as. All the scripts, all the knowledge of spirituality, I do not say the religion, Hindu religion. It's more than that. The spiritual knowledge is based in that language, in that Sanskrit language. So I was very happy to study that because same time I could study these books, Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Ramayana, Mahabharata, and other scriptures. By studying those books, those scriptures, they give me a solid foundation about life. The life is not for oneself. The life is meant for whole universe. One has to dedicate what one learns, what one discovers, what one gets to the whole universe. In reality, the real teaching is that you are universe and the universe is you. It means when you reach to a stage of spirituality, of knowledge, the deep knowledge, you feel that you are pervading in whole universe. You are pervading in each and every being on this earth. And also you can feel that whole universe is in you. All the beings, animate, inanimate, they are the part of you. They are in you. So nothing is separated. It is the mind. It is the limitations of our fragmented knowledge, of our limited understanding, rather mental understanding, that we we see things separate. You see yourself separate than the others. So, but the real knowledge, when you are attached, when you are connected to your own spirit, totally connected with your own spirit, then this realization of universality you can feel concretely within yourself. So I went through all these knowledge. This ancient literature, ancient books, and they enriched my thinking, my way of life, and that also formatted, that also built my path, what to lead in future, what to do. Not too much thinking by mind, but letting it go wherever the time and the inner intuition leads me. 6-7 years, I met many teachers, different yoga, karma yogis, jnana yogis, the yogis of knowledge, the yogis of action, the yogis of devotion, bhakti yogis, dhyana yogi, the yogis of meditation. So I underwent, under their teaching, all types of yoga, meditations, karma yoga. But somewhere I found the limitations there. Some will say, some will speak about caste system. Some will speak about, gender problems. You are female, you are male. A sadhu, a yogi should not live with women. So, the segregation. So in reality, we are one. So I used to think, why they say like that? Because my mom, my mother, from whom I was born, was a woman. So why these limitations? At that time, I was 6-7 years as sadhu. Someone gave me a book of Sri Aurobindo, a great yogi who had established his ashram in Pondicherry. And Mother Mira Alfassa, she was a French national and who left everything and came to Pondicherry. And they had started together under Sri Aurobindo's guidance, spiritual guidance, an ashram, Sri Aurobindo ashram in Pondicherry. In 1910, Sri Aurobindo first time came to Pondicherry. Of course, by my limited and fragmented mind, I cannot really share his vision, his achievements, his spiritual achievements. So you have to delve yourself, you have to go within deep down yourself and study and contemplate to understand him. But for me, his book, the book was fantastic, The Basis of the Yoga. That was the book's name. And there was another book I read, The Hour of God. So these two books helped me a lot. As if someone is writing down my own thoughts. Because I was thinking myself, the life should be this way, that way. We should be like this, like that. So it was as if someone has written down my mind, my vision. And I was very happy seeing the address. I was at that time in northern India, in Haryana state, in a school teaching and same time studying in the university. Because I always was happy and very much content to help especially children. By then I was 20 years old. And in my life when I had suffered in my childhood, so whatever way I could help, I was helping the young generation, young kids in that school. So there were 400-500 students below 16 years. So I have to teach them, and same time I have to practice my spiritual rituals and meditations, chantings, etc. And after reading the book of Sri Aurobindo, seeing the address behind the book, Sri Aurobindo Ashrams, Pondicherry, South India. So from north to south, I immediately took the ticket and reached Pondicherry. First time, when I entered ashram premises, where there is the Samadhi, the tomb of Sri Aurobindo. So I liked it very much because something I felt all pervading energy around me. And my mind was calm and quiet, as if I have no mind. So as if everything is full of joy, in a deep trance. So I was for more than half an hour. And I was surprised. And I felt that this is the place for me to stay and deepen my spiritual knowledge, my spiritual life. Though many experiences I had during my childhood, spiritual experiences, and also when I was in that monk life, sadhu life, there also I had many experiences. And I decided to stay in Sri Aurobindo ashram. Though they were not accepting those days the sadhus, because normally sadhus, they do not do karma yoga, the actions. But I insisted to them that I really want to stay here and progress in the spiritual path. And there I was accepted and I was given some important works in several departments. Sri Aurobindo ashram is a place of learning, place of real learning, I would say. It's a real laboratory to become a real human being. Not only human being, even you can become God. Gods. A superhuman being you can become a Superman. So that is that is the liberator. So if one is ready to go through all difficulties, all ordeals, then one can really build up there. One can become a real human being and even further. Then in that ashram, you have hundreds of departments. Everything is prepared there. Many sadhakas, many yogis, sadhikas, they work in those departments, offering their actions to the divine, to their inner soul. They work. And similarly, I was also given the work. Though I was at the beginning, was difficult for me to work. Because we human beings, we always think, in our mind we think that all high jobs are good and lower jobs are not good. Sweeping the floor, cleaning the toilet, cleaning the vessels, cleaning the clothes. We consider it as mean way of living, mean work, we consider it. But these works are very essential, I have realized, for cleaning, ourselves. At the beginning, when I was given work, was given to clean the vessels eaten by hundreds and hundreds of people who used to visit ashram, thousands. So when I was a guru, I was a sadhu, I was considered as a guru. So what happens when you are guru, you feel yourself you are guru, it means you are ego. You are pumping your ego. More and more, you are not progressing in spiritual life. The ego is the greatest hindrance of the spiritual life. So that is, at that time I was full of ego, because when I was sadhu, also I wanted to, get spiritual powers and show to the world that who am I? So for that I wanted to, do austerities to earn, to get that powers and to show the world. So later on, of course, I realized that this is not the good path. The best path is the humility. The best path is to become calm and quiet in all circumstances. When I was in a sadhu life, they used to say, Kabhi ghee ghana, kabhi muthi chana, kabhi wo bhi bana. It means, it is the Hindi proverb. Means, when you get abundance of nice food, you be simple. You just enjoy and be grateful to the divine. You remain in the same joy. When you just get sometime maybe one handful of rice or chickpeas, then also you should feel grateful. Oh, at least I have got this. And I must enjoy it. So whatever you get, you should be grateful to the destiny, to the nature that it has given to you. And sometime Vobimana means sometime even you will not get even one handful of chickpeas or rice. One morsel, one mouthful also you may not get. Then also you should be happy. That is the yogic attitude. So that makes you stronger. Nowadays people suicide for small reasons. Why? Because everything was given too much, especially in Western worlds. Now in our worlds also people, they are following the Western style of life. And they follow same way. And we have seen in our society, especially nowadays, lot of suicides. Because when they are young, they are treated differently. Too much easy life, everything. When parents, whatever they want, they give. But the parents, if they are spiritual background, then they may give some solid education. In that case, the children might be different. But in an ordinary family, if they give too much facilities, whatever they want, give, and they do not have even respect for anything. How it comes, from where, to get all these things, how hard it is. So they do not. That is why when they are young, when they grow up, when suddenly they have to go out in the world, then it becomes very difficult. Something happens wrong, a small thing, a girlfriend leaves or a boyfriend leaves, and there is some chaotic, and then some problem occurs, then they go to start drugs, this and that, and many of them, they suicide also. Why this all happening? Because of the lack of proper education. So, spiritual education is a must if we want to lead a better human life, a content human life, a full of peace, full of joy, a life that is full of joy and peace. So you might have seen, of course, this today some dance dramas. In between, I will share with you how I started all these ashram. So I started from one child. So I'm leading, I give them an opportunity. I give sometimes slightly hardship also in life so that when they grow up, any hardship will not trouble to them. So it will be easier for them. And when I was in that ashram, working in different departments, it was, difficult at the beginning, but later on I started enjoying. I started feeling the divine presence in each and everything because of the ashram atmosphere. And same time I started learning mother also. Mother, because mother, she was from France and she had written in French all her experiences and her teachings. And I started learning French. I had learned already several Indian languages. I used to speak more than 13 languages, and I used to read 6-7 languages. And one more language, French. Greek, Latin also I tried for a few years. Because when you are on the right path, things come automatically for you. When you are seeking, when you are on the way to the truth, when you want to seek the secret of your life, when you want to seek the aim, when you want to learn true aim of your life, then all the energies in the universe, they become helpful. If you are open to it. If you open your heart, then your mind, things will go much better. Nowadays, we have problem in the universe. You see, even now, there was First World War, Second World War, and now again war. Because we go too much to the mind. We decide through the mind. We do not have this, this knowledge of the self, the knowledge of the soul, the connection of this with the knowledge, the connection with the soul, we do not have. Though we have the soul, but there are so many dense curtains, one after another. So the soul is hiding deep down. The heart is hiding deep down under many millions curtains. Ideas that was built, created by the mind, by the emotions, by the ways that we have come across. It might be not reality, but we have decided, we have thought that it is the reality. So because of that, the problem of this world is happening now. So that is why human is not at peace. So these all things I came to learn, I came to understand during my 12 years of life. To have a perfect life, one has to have better food, organic food. So ashram had that field where we used to cultivate organically. And many sadhakas with love and care, they used to do their gardenings, cultivating. So it was really a divine place with divine atmosphere. So 12 years passed with great teachers, great gurus, company, and they molded me. That ashram environment molded me a different person. When 20 years had passed, and one day suddenly I decided to come to Nepal to visit my parents, my siblings, brothers, sisters, and relatives. I had forgotten them. Even I didn't know the name of my mom. I could only remember, I had remembered only the name of my father and the village name. I was just 12 when I left, and I had no connection with my family and language. I had forgotten my mother. And suddenly one day I remembered the mountains, the cascades, fountains, the forest, as if they were calling me. And I come back to Nepal after 20 years. Everything has changed. The Nepal that I had seen 20 years ago was different after 20 years. For example, people had become more selfish. Before 20 years, if you go to somebody's house, you were received according to our culture, as the God sent messenger to your house for 1 night or 2 nights. So you will offer him the best you can. Good food, respect. If you are thirsty, they will give you milk, buttermilk. And then after 20 years, I was expecting the same love, same environment. But it was changed. And then even if you go to asking the water, they will say, okay, you pay for water. You see so much. You cannot get the fruits in the trees. But when I was young, you can go anywhere and you can have anybody on anybody's field fruits. So that love, that care, that love between the husband and wife, between the brother and sisters, between the father and children and mother, father, everything had changed. It was more westernized. So people were more, communists had come, communism had come, and everything was slightly ruined because, each country has its soul. The soil of this country has its own soul, and it has its own, way of growing. So if you impose something different, something foreign, it will not work. That is what is being done, what it has last 30, 40 years. So Nepal has undergone under all these foreign influences. So foreign seeds, foreign knowledge, borrowed knowledge will not help. Borrowed ideology, thinking that their life is much better, much easier, that will not help. So, I have seen that changed Nepal, destroyed Nepal, poor Nepal, and I was not happy. Walking, I had to walk. When I left Nepal 20 years ago, first time for India, I had to walk 5 days. So far, 3 days walking had been covered by the the road, by the motorable road, gravel road, not pitched road, yeah. And then 2 days I had to walk. When I was walking, I have seen poor families, children with no food, no proper hygiene. And I was crying seeing their situations. And during my stay in Nepal, when I came first time, 1 month with my family, I rarely stayed with my parents. I was always in the forest, in the jungle, meditating, contemplating, on the top of the mountain, looking at the gigantic Himalayas and meditating and chanting mantras and contemplating how can I help? How can I be more useful for this country, for Nepal, where I was born, for the people? Contemplating and contemplating. One day suddenly a decision came. I must go to Kathmandu and start something. So I came to Kathmandu. It was in 1993. Today, in fact, is a great day. You people are lucky today to see me and all the children. In fact, we are celebrating our 30th anniversary, means 30th great day. The day in 1993 I started with meditation, 24th of April, and today again 24th of April. This morning we meditated. First meditation 30 years ago, I had gathered only few people, unknown people. But now, today's meditation, we were 300 people together. And for the celebration, we had more than 600-700 people from the village and from Kathmandu city. So when I came from my village, I started an ashram, but I do not want to leave. I did not like to leave Pondicherry. I thought I will be, advising them from far away, helping them from far away. The money I have, I would give totally to them. And according to my guidance, they will run a center and where we can help children, needy children, where we can give the real knowledge, real education of this country, of this Himalaya. So, I formed a committee of 8-9 people. And I went, leaving some money, I went back to Pondicherry. And after 2 months, I came back with more material and more money. Then I realized the people who were here, the members, other members, they were not interested much. The money I had left, they spent all for drinking wines and teas and cigarettes, etc. Instead of cooperating to such organization, they had finished the money that I had for the good cause. Then I told them, what you are doing? You must help to this beginning infant organization. You must feed this just infant newborn organization, make it strong. Then only we can do something for Nepal. But they say they will not do. Then I said, okay, if you cannot do, I go back to Pandi, forget everything. Nepal is not ready. I went to Pondicherry again. But when I went to Pondicherry again, I was happy in my work with my friends. You know, Pondicherry, I never like to leave. It is for me the greatest achievement. It had given me so much, the atmosphere, the spiritual atmosphere that was nourishing me so soothingly, so intensely, that I had even decided not to leave that place. But since I was here in Nepal, whatever I had seen that everything came in my mind. I saw the children, the troubles. Then I said, if I do not work, Who is going to work? Pondi life, ashram life was quite comfortable. And coming back to Nepal and working with unknown place, with unknown people was not that easy. But I decided, finally, because of a teacher who was spiritual teacher, he said, it's better you go back to Nepal and fight. And also, when I used to read Sri Aurobindo's works, there is one line, it says, the strongest are they who stand alone. So in the difficult time, Rabindranath Tagore, he has said, in Bengali, it is said, Yedi tomar dak sune kyun na se, tobe ekla cholo. Ekla cholo, ekla cholo, ekla cholo. It means, if you call people to walk along with you, if they do not come, if they do not listen, do not bother. Just to go ahead alone. So I was dependent to my Nepali people, the other members. Suddenly I said, okay, now forget about them. You go alone and work hard and struggle. So I came back with new enthusiasm, with new power. And I came to Kathmandu, where we are now at Thankot. I bought a mudstone small house with a small land. And I started this work. So, from one child I started. First year, 4 children. Second year, 10 children. Third year, 20 children. Fourth year, 40 children. Fifth year, 60. And sixth year, 100. Like that, number of children increased. And the work, I was alone and I had very limited amount of support. I had some money in my account in Pondicherry. With that money, I bought some land, and also same time, I started some income generating activities. That is to say, making incense, organic incense, natural incense, and rearing cows and selling cows' milk. Supplement extra milk, and organic farmings, organic vegetables, grains. So whatever surplus we used to sell them and earn some money. And Pashmina, Thanka, yoga, meditations, many other activities, travels, tours, all activities that we are doing here. And through that, whatever we earn, everything goes to the society, to the organization, to help the children, to their growth. At the beginning, I had just one house with no toilet, no electricity, no water, no bathroom, nothing. I had to carry water. It was hard life. An easy life in Pondi ashram. Here, a real struggling life. To go to toilet, I had to walk to the jungle with water to wash myself. And first thing that I built here was toilet and bathroom. Later on, I dig a well, and after a few years that got dry. Then again another well for the water. I dig deeper. And that also did not help longer. After 2-3 years, it again got dry especially during the summertime. So then I did, boring, deep boring, in spite many, hindrances from local community. Because wherever you want to do something good, you will get obstacles. Most of the people will be not in your favor. That is the human nature. If someone is going forward, doing something, instead helping, you will see many locals, they will pulling you down. But I did not bother. I just chareveti, went on forward. In our Veda, it says chareveti, means go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. So that kept me always pushing forward. And that is the life. I never got tired, Day and night I worked. I used to only sleep hardly 4 hours. Otherwise, till 11, I used to work. At the beginning, I was the only teacher, and I used to give homework during the daytimes to the children, morning classes. And I used to go to the city, sell incenses, milk, and vegetables. Come back with the money and buy other comestible things, eatable things for the children. And slowly I increase more land, more houses built year by year, and income generating activities too I have increased. Now, today is the 30th day, 30th year today. 30th celebration, annually celebration today. And now we are more than 300 people we live. Thousands have passed and they are gone from here. Some are in Europe, our ex-students, some are in America, some are in Nepal itself. They are leading their own happy life, content life. And during this time, I have started two more centers. First in 1993 in Kathmandu, second in 2003, 200 kilometers southwest of Kathmandu. I started in 2003. There too, there are schools, there are students. There I have bought big farming land and we can grow. Tarai region is it's tropical. It's hot. There you can grow mangoes, lychees, bananas, many other fruits, and rice, wheat, lentil, vegetables, anything you can grow throughout the year there. And after each 10 years I created. In 1993, I created this ashram. In 2003, after 10 years, I started second ashram in Terai region. Then after another 10 years, means in 2013, I started an ashram in Gulmi where I was born. Why I started that ashram? Tarai ashram I started because I wanted our own food, organic, natural food. So we have almost 100 cows there in Tarai ashram. In Kathmandu ashram, we have around 40 cows. And all the cow dungs we use as natural manure. And in Tarai, we grow most of our food there. Of course, it's not enough for so many people, but at least for the people who are staying in Tarai ashram, for 70 people, it is enough. And in 2013, in my village where I was born, I started third center in 2013. And there, why I started? Because in Nepal, still there are people, they have a lot of superstition. They think that by offering animal sacrifice, giving animal sacrifice to certain deities, certain gods, they will get lot of happiness, lot of money, abundance. So that is wrong concept in their mind. Even from my family, people, they sacrifice and they are all in all these superstitions. So I want to remove that. So that is why I started an ashram there in a different, not a religious, but more spiritual. And now some people, they have changed because of ashram's presence. They are different now. Many of them, they are not slaughtering the poor animals. So this way, I started these 3 centers with thinking to really to help to create a new race, a new thinking. I shouldn't say new because it was there long ago, but in between it got disconnected. The teaching got disconnected. It's nothing, it's not a sect or anything. It's a way of life. A way of life, a perfect life. I would say an integral life, an integral education. So this integral education, this integral life was taught long ago from our forefathers, rishis and sages, the seers. They have given this knowledge, this education to us, but it had been disconnected. Now again, we are reviving it. So that is why now the whole group, how we do it, what is the aim, how we proceed, how we practically do it. So that you have seen through dance, drama, because in everything we want to bring the highest perfection, highest peace, highest love. So that is why whatever we do, it should be our part of life. It should come with love. And it should be meaningful. You should do it wholeheartedly. And you should try to find out the hidden truth, the deepest truth that is hidden everywhere, to discover that. So this way, whatever we do it for that cause, to make our life perfect. So our motto of our life is, all life is yoga. What does it mean in reality? Means whole life, all of our life, from birth to death, and again from death to birth. We are Hindus and Buddhists. We believe in reincarnation, rebirth. So it's an unending process. So more, even now, a third process is, you are born, you may not die, you may get transformed, supramentalized by meditation, by contemplation, by descending down the higher spiritual powers. So that is possible. In coming times, coming years, the humanity has to advance. The humanity cannot go on as it is today. It is changing. That is why there have been a lot of upheavals in the last century and even in this century. So before the dawn, there is the darkest period. So now we are very close to the dawn, very close to the light. So there is lot of awakening, lot of spirituality everywhere. So from beginning, early morning, we go to bed, we make our life most useful, most conscious. So that is why whole life becomes yoga. Yoga means it is not the postures, pranayama and asanas, not the postures, not that. We say in Sanskrit asanas for that, exercises. But yoga means the union with your innermost truth. All of us, we have the truth within us, the highest truth, the supreme truth, the Brahman we have within us. As Sri Aurobindo, he says in his epic Savitri, he says, we are sons of God. We must be even as He. His human portion. We must grow divine. The last sentence. His human portion. We are the portion, human portion of that highest divinity. And we must grow divine. So we were born on this earth to grow divine. It is only in divinity that you have peace and real joy, real happiness. It is only in the divinity that you can have. Otherwise, no chance. But the nature, whole nature, is evolving, going through many hunters, many ups and downs. But finally it has to go. It has to evolve to that divinity, to that we must grow divine. So we must grow divine. That is the purpose of our birth. That is the purpose of our life. Because that is the highest joy. That is the highest truth. So we try to live in a community with harmony, with love. with giving chance more and more to interiorize oneself. The humanity has lived a lot externally, exteriorized too much. Now the time has come for more look at inward, introvert. So far extrovert, now the time has come for the introvert. So our way of life, our education of this ashram is based on this philosophy, on this system of education. Sri Aurobindo, he says about education, he says that nothing can be taught. First thing. First he says, nothing can be taught. We think that I am teacher, he is teacher, I am the master, I can guide, I can give. No, nothing can be given, nothing can be taught. That is Sri Aurobindo. Because everything is within. One has to reveal it. Just one has to create the atmosphere for the children. So, similarly, like the soil, the soil that is, fertile soil, whatever you put a seed, that will grow, flower, and give the fruits. But the gardener doesn't do anything, just creates a proper atmosphere. When water is needed, gives water. When some compost is needed, gives compost. And automatically everything comes up. Nobody creates the leaves, nobody creates the flowers, twigs, branches, and fruits. It comes automatically. The sun is helper, air is helper, soil is helper, everything is. So everything comes sprouting. Similarly, this ashram also is a soil for the human beings, for the young generation to develop. Just I'm trying to create a liberal and free atmosphere with minimum rules so that they can grow, they can take out their inherent possibilities, inherent energies that they possess, capacities, possibilities, all divinity that we possess that can be put forth in front, that can come out in their life, bring forth from within. So this atmosphere I am trying to create here. So even small children, when they eat, we tell them to eat consciously, observing the taste, walking consciously, sleeping consciously. We try, whatever they can, they try. So that way, we grow, conscious. And once you are conscious with your own being, inner being, you are never unhappy. You are with the world, with the universe. You are related. Once you are aware with your soul, with your inner being, with your psychic being, you become aware of the world. Then your life becomes rich. Your whole thinking becomes very, very rich. Then your life really becomes meaningful. So for that, to attain that, as Sri Aurobindo has said in another about education, the first principle of education is to know thyself and your surrounding, the nature. So it says first principle of education is to know thyself, means the oneself one has to know. That is the first education. Where is that education now? It's nowhere. More we are only want to know more about this, stars, terrestrial things. Okay, that we will know naturally. But that's not the first thing. To know the weather is not first thing. The first thing is to know thyself. Is the first principle of education. And your surrounding, the nature. So that is what we follow here. So the first thing, one has to know oneself. One has to learn. That is why the second phrase of Sri Aurobindo, all life is life divine. So then only our life becomes divine life, full of divinity. That is to come in future. So I think that's all for today. Now I would like to invite you for the questions, and with your questions there will be many revealing answers. So you can ask me any questions on any topics.
Just before that, Ramchandra, just to say that Veda, the young man who presents the dance, he will speak about integral education in the ashram in the school ashram. And he will explain all the things about the integral education in the ashram. So it will be the last day, Saturday the 13th. So just to save the people that they can know much more about what happens.
You mean I should explain this?
No. Just to say that Veda will talk about all this Saturday the 13th.
13th. Okay. So about this integral yoga, more you will hear from our principal, Vedananda. He is one of the, I think, first child. He was the second child of the ashram. And now he is the principal of our ashram. I have made him the principal of the ashram. He takes care of school and children in the school. And on 13th, he is going to speak on the integral yoga.
Integral education.
Integral education. On that subject, he is going to talk on 13th. So you are all most welcome to listen to him on 13th. And now you can, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Someone is asking if we can find the
the teaching. I can answer because about it's in French. There is a book of the story of all the story of Ramchandra, complete story of Ramchandra, the life and the education and the ashram and so on, and for 400 pages in French. I will put the link. So, but it's only in French for the moment. There is the book you can find and you can buy with our association on Eloasso.
Okay. So actually, that book, of course, it will tell you a lot of things. That book in French, unfortunately, we do not have yet in English, but I think we are working on that to print it in English language. So in that book, I have explained thoroughly about my life, about my experiences, and about the integral yoga, integral education. So if you those who are speaking French, they can read and they can know. So, but in future, those who for the Anglophone, we have to wait. Maybe I don't know yet how long. Then once that book will be in English, you will know it thoroughly. Thank you. More questions, please.
Yes, somebody asked, what is it like to know oneself? How to know oneself?
Oh, can you repeat it again?
What is it to know? How do you know oneself?
How do you know oneself? That is the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you know oneself? Means to know oneself, there is certain things that one has to practice, like for example, meditation, awareness. One has to be more aware, conscious. Whatever we are doing, we must do it consciously. For example, if you go to bed, you try to sleep consciously. When you lie down, you become aware of whole of your body, your physical body. Then slowly, when you are aware of your whole physical body, then you start becoming aware of your heart, your psychic being. Then you become aware of your soul. So that way, because abruptly you cannot, because we are too much extroverted. From our childhood, we have not heard of these things, this secret, this knowledge, we have not heard. Only whatever we have seen since our birth, whatever we have heard, or whatever we were taught, we believe that that is the reality. So because of this, we do not have the chance to be oneself introverted. So from now onwards, if you try to become conscious, for example, when you eat a pom and an apple, when you eat an apple, then you must appreciate, you must be conscious of the color, of the taste, and then you must be conscious that the rasam, the sap of it will nourish your whole being, and it will help you to grow, to the spiritual height. It helps you to grow, to become conscious of oneself. So the beginning is a bit difficult. For that, I can say they should come to certain places where they teach you how to become aware. For example, you can meditate on your own being, on your whole body, and try to understand, try to feel your heartbeats deep down into your heart, and try to become one with your heart and your soul. So slowly, there are many books also that can be helpful. And if you can come here, we can also help for a month, 2 months. We can help that way. Okay, so other question?
I don't see other questions. No more questions at this time.
Okay. Okay, that's good. If you have something, even if you want to, if you want me to add something from your side, I can do that.
Maybe Ramchandra, you can explain that the people, they can come and stay in the ashram and live the life with the children, and also help in the school and so on.
Yeah. So this organization, this ashram, I started, and ashram means, the word ashram is very special meaning it has. It means a place where each one can come and learn and give whatever he can, whatever he has, good or bad, he can give and transform into good. If he has something good, he should share with the community. If you have something bad, it should also leave it there and should transform it into good. So ashram means you come and labor, work hard, in the sense you have to work. Whatever you could not achieve in other places, here you must renew yourself. That is why in olden times, even gurus, teachers, they used to change your name in the ashrams when you go. When my name of birth is Chandramani. But when I became a disciple of a master in spirituality, sadhu when I became, he named me Ramchandra Das. So it means that you are Dvija, means your second birth. So really, for change oneself, to discover new things, new possibilities, to penetrate within oneself, you should come here and you can help yourself and you can help the children, because this very atmosphere will teach you a lot. You will come not only for us, but more you will come for yourself, for your benefit, for your inner benefit, for your inner peace that you will gain, and that will be helpful for your whole life. Plus, whatever you know, if you can teach here English, if you can teach French, you are most welcome. Also, if you are interested in organic farming, or if you are interested in working with cows,
or yoga,
or you want to learn yoga, meditation, so everything you can learn here. And you can also be part of the community. So we like the people who can stay longer possible. Normally, the Nepal government gives 5 months tourist visa. So when you arrive at the airport, you can get the visa on arrival for 3 months. And after 3 months, you can get 2 months additional visa. Every year you can have 5 months visa, and you can be helpful for the community.
Ramchandra, you have 3 minutes to complete. Someone is asking, how is the situation after 2 years of COVID pandemic?
Oh, that is not good for us because of COVID, we lost a lot of income generating activities. And I have to sell a land which was very precious, very close to the ashram, lack of money to feed the children and for other activities. So I was obliged to sell that land. And I am even still now, the situation is not good. Still I have to, I'm trying to sell some more land in Tarai, and I have to send if I have no other means. So I am really in a desperate need of some help if it is possible. So because this has ruined in many ways, because this ashram is morely dependent on yoga, meditation and trekkings. So most of the trekking and yoga meditation, the foreigners from Europe and America, Japan, people used to come and they used to pay for their learnings, etc. And that used to help us a lot. And sometime I used to go to France and other countries, and I used to give retreats, and whatever money I used to earn, that also whole amount used to come, and it used to help. And since that COVID, everything got stopped. And here, our excess milk and whatever we used to sell, that also has come down. For example, if before COVID, we used to, our requirements, our earnings used to be almost 30,000 euros or $33,000 per month. Now hardly it's 10,000. So you see, so 2/3 we have lost. So, but we are still surviving. I hope now the things will again start positively and Corona will go away and again people will come and again the activities will restart and we will be in, as before, we will be in sound situation.
We have 1 minute off. No, I think I have to thank you, Ramchandra, because it's time after. There is Armel. Armel, are you here? Armel, she is very impressed by all your life, and she was very touched by your life, and she will speak after you. I present you Armel and Ramchandra.
Nice to meet you, Ramchandra.
Okay, Armel, thank you, merci
nice to meet you. Yeah, thank you for everything you do.
Okay.
The calling you're fulfilling is so beautiful.
You should come here and help.
I would love to. As soon as Nepal is open, I will come.
Yeah, it is open now. You are most welcome.
Okay, great to know. Thank you.
Yeah, it is open. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I will look at that for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, namaste to each and everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Namaste.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ramchandra.
Thank you, Abel, for your good work and, connecting whole world, helping whole world, connecting each other. That's wonderful that you are doing. Thank you so much, Abel.
Thank you so much, Ramchandra.
Thank you, Ramchandra.
Thank you, Ramchandra.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.